Hello, everybody, and good morning. My name is Dr. Ojet Ayomide, and I am an outlier from the University of Ilorin, Ileha Farmalat, Abuja. Good morning, everyone, once again. So, Aspire by Farmalat is a program whereby we encourage young vets to talk about pressing matters that is in our veterinary space and weigh out the solutions in this field. No, and the program is brought to you by Farmalat from the community engagement team that is managed by, and the team lead is Dr. Zainab Abdullah Biu. She's the community engagement manager for Farmalat. Good morning once again. So today, before we start, we'll be talking about, the main topic for today is the future of animal health, the innovations and challenges in the Nigerian veterinary pharmaceuticals and what we can do, the solution, the way out. Now, there's something that we definitely don't know and we need to know and we need to talk more about in the veterinary space, and that is the issue of the Nigerian veterinary pharmaceuticals. Most of the time, veterinary medical students or veterinarians, they mostly think the only way by which they can practice is by being a clinician or having your own clinic, like your own small animal clinic or your large animal clinic or your poultry farm and all. But I can tell you that that is not the only thing that you can do in the veterinary space. The veterinary medicine profession has provided opportunities in different aspects of life. You can decide that as a veterinarian, you want to be a doctor, you can continue to be a vet, you can decide to be a business entrepreneur, you can decide to have your own business, you can distribute drugs, you can go into research, you can be in the army, you can be in the navy, you can be in the air force, you can even be like a flight attendant. You can do anything. That is just what I have to tell you, that veterinary medical space is, you have a lot of opportunities which you can actually venture into. And today we'll be talking mainly about the Nigerian veterinary pharmaceuticals. This is a field that is not yet saturated like every other field in the Nigerian veterinary, in the veterinary medicine profession. A lot of people sometimes think that veterinary medical doctors are meant to be hungry, that there's no job in the city, there's no job in Nigeria. Maybe if you know what you are doing, there's definitely a job for you. And today we'll be talking about the veterinary pharmaceutical space. I think I started developing love and passion for the veterinary pharmaceuticals, let's just say since when I was a child, because growing up, my mom is a nurse and she had a pharmacy, and I learned a lot about drugs growing up. I knew the drugs used to treat hypertension, drugs for malaria. So I got like really interested in drugs since I was a child. And when I had the opportunity to study veterinary medicine and we started veterinary pharmacology in 300 level second semester, the interest grew. And I noticed that these veterinary pharmaceuticals is lagging. There is a lot of space, like a lot of veterinary medical doctors are not in this profession. They are not there. They don't know the benefits of being there. And we keep complaining that animal health practitioners are taking our jobs, and that is not so. When people that are meant to be in the profession are not doing what they need to do, then other people will take the work because that space needs to be filled up. And it is only when veterinary medical students and veterinarians come up and take up this role. And that is one of the things we'll be discussing today in our webinar today. And also another thing is that I recently read an article whereby the veterinary lawyer was just talking about how pharmacists are already fighting to start selling veterinary medical drugs. They already added veterinary pharmacology to the list of courses that they are studying in the university, which is not supposed to be so. And now the case is in the court of law, and if we are not careful, they will eventually win the case, and they will be able to prescribe our own drugs, the drugs that veterinary medical doctors are supposed to be in charge of. Then pharmacists will be able to do the same thing, and it should not be so. So here we'll be enlightening you about what it means and what it takes to be in the Nigerian veterinary pharmaceutical industry. And today we have with me Dr. Agumbi Adeola Tumbosun Joseph, who is a recent graduate who finished in the year 2023 and studied veterinary medicine from the prestigious University of Ilorin in 2023, and is also the founder of Ambit Veterinary Pharmacy Limited. Hi, doctor. How are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Fitz.
How are you doing, doctor?
I'm very well.
Oh, good. So before we dive into what we have to discuss today, I would just really like to read a little bit about Dr. Agunbi Adeolatubosun Joseph. I'd just like to go through his citation with us. So Dr. Agunbi Adeolatubosun Joseph is a veterinarian and the founder of Ambit Veterinary Pharmacy Limited that specializes in advancing veterinary medications. He possesses a research background in general toxicology, developmental and reproductive toxicology, environmental health toxicology, and reproductive biology. He is also committed to advancing One Health and enhancing overall outcomes. He possesses expertise in handling many species with diagnostic acumen, and he is also dedicated to providing new evidence-based research solutions to veterinary medicine. Dr. Agunbi Adeolatubosun Joseph also recently published a research on evaluating the supplementary effects of vitamin C or carbamazepine and pentyletrazole-induced seizures and pre-implantation loss in pregnant Wista rats, implication for human pregnancy. So, welcome, Dr. Agunbi Adeolatubosun Joseph here.
Thank you.
So, Doc,
I would like you to share my presentation from your hand.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
We are about to do that.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here today to talk about the future of animals and linking to the innovation and the challenges in Nigerian future. So, introduction. We're going to be talking about the landscape of animal health in veterinary pharmacy in Nigeria. We all know that livestock and the backbone of the Nigerian agro-veterinary sector, contributing to food security, income generation, livelihood, and psychosocial balance. That means the most of the income of livestock. People now keep companion animals for their psychosocial well-being and is a source of livelihood to people, being that we have veterinarians that practice now, they're animal practitioners, we have people who sell pets, we have people who are into animal farming as a source of income to them. So livestock contributes about 2 to 3% of the national gross domestic product and about 10% of the agricultural GDP, with 30% rural population employment. Animal health is crucial for sustaining livestock productivity, reducing the risk of zoonosis, and supporting One Health and economic stability. Definitely, for us to be productive in the livestock department, we have to know about animal health. We have to know about diseases such as zoonotic diseases, transboundary animal diseases, even the one that ranges from companion animals to wild animals. So now we're going to be talking about veterinary pharmaceuticals, which encompasses the therapeutics, that's the antimicrobials, the antiemetic, the antiparasitics, and likes the biologics, the vaccines, supplements, that's the probiotics, the prebiotics, diagnostic tools. Many people don't know that diagnostic tools fall under pharmaceuticals. Now we now have rapid test kits. We have a lot of diagnostic equipment that actually aid medical practitioner in giving proper solutions to diseases that are happening. So I checked through the NAFDAC portal. I know that currently there are only 13 banned veterinary drugs. So what about the rest? What about the rest of the drugs? After those 13 drugs, what about the rest? Because currently I know in practice there are a few drugs. And even in the companion animal field, I know that there are some drugs now that are actually made for livestock that we're using for companion animals. So are we trying to say there are lesser formulations that will cater for each species of animals that we have? So we all know that majority, like the predominant part of veterinary pharmaceuticals in Nigeria is through importation. People bring in drugs from China, India, Philippines, Jordan, USA, Hong Kong. Yet, the market is still fragmented. We still have substandard products. We still have products that are posing significant risk to animal health. So, and then we still have weak access to veterinary pharmaceuticals in rural areas, which actually has a bit disease control issues. So, I'll be talking on the global trends and innovation in veterinary pharmaceuticals. There are a lot of advancements in the veterinary field currently in terms of biologics, biotechnology. Now we have monoclonal antibodies that actually target diseases. We have this canary pox virus vector vaccines, which is now like developed to tackle rabies and feline leukemia virus in cats. We have growth factors now. We have cytokines. Now, people are now moving into precision medicine. Faith, can you move to the second slide? People are now moving into precision medicine. That's using genomics, the study of genes, proteomics, and bioinformatics to understand disease patterns and targeted cures. This has been used in cancer studies in animals, sports physiology, equine medicine, and the study of arthritis. Now, they are using these methods to develop disease-resistant livestock. These are innovative trends that we can also imbibe to in the Nigerian veterinary field, pharmaceutical field. Now we have sustainable pharmaceuticals. People have started using eco-friendly packaging and drugs in order to cater for the issues regarding climate change. Now we have digital pharmacy and online prescription, and this is one of the goals that we at Ambit are trying to develop. We want to develop a digital pharmacy that encompasses e-commerce, online prescription, telemedicine. Now, talking about telemedicine, there are smart tools now. People no longer go to in developed countries. People no longer go to their veterinarians physically every time. Now you can go online, speak to your veterinarian via calls. There are even diagnostic tools that can actually run diagnosis. We have AI developed algorithms that can actually aid diagnosis. So these are global trends, and we know that the veterinary profession in the developed place in developed world, they are moving towards technology. We have robotics and AI for surgery now. There are AI-powered decision support systems that actually help to support your diagnosis. Before I graduated from school, I have a colleague of mine, Dr. Godwin. He is a data scientist, and he was able to drive in an innovation in which he got was trying to like get radiological slides and then serve it to the AI, so as when issues come up in the clinic, veterinarians don't no longer have to waste their time or stress in having to set up the animal for radiology. They can easily input a lot of data and then they can diagnose from the ones they've served to the AI. That's an easy way now to to practice veterinary medicine. There are particle based drugs now that actually target the particular sites in the system of animals. That's nanotechnology. Now in India now they are actually moving into Ayurvedic medicine. We know I don't know if we know about many of us know about these Chamil products. That's a product of Ayurveda. Those are natural remedies. Currently, I saw where they have started using neem seed and turmeric to develop anti-emetic drugs. This is actually is commendable, because looking at it, we are very used to synthetic drugs now, and a lot of them are actually even causing a lot of side effects. Why not go back to the natural remedy? Why not develop this? Now, we have augmented reality and virtual reality for animal studies. Augmented reality now are used to train veterinarians to do surgical procedure that are actually not invasive. Now, virtual reality for animals are used to they are now used to study animal behaviors. We have practice management software which was developed by Smart DVM. I know most of us know about Smart DVM. Those are the ways we can actually do things without having to stay in the crude in the crude era again. We have 3D printing in veterinary medicine, biomaterials gotten from porcine intestine for tissue repair, laser surgeries. So I know we can actually get there, but it might actually take us a lot of time. But we can get there, and these are the things that are actually being used in the developed world now. I don't know how much we are actually going to embrace technology. Recently, I read about IoT too for livestock health tracking and remote disease management for large scale farms. This way, you can be in your house and just put your remote tracker. It will be able to detect disease, manage disease, give you information about what is happening on your farm without you being there. That's easy enough. Currently, I saw in China they have robot developed tractors, robots that are working on the farm, working in animal farms. People don't no longer want to stress again. Robots are actually efficient enough to do our task for us without having to waste our own manpower. So these are the things we can actually imbibe to, and I know we'll actually get there. Now, how many of us know about this vet scan images by Zoetis? This is an AI-based virtual laboratory. Interesting. An AI-based virtual laboratory that can do blood smear, fecal flotation, digital cytology, and urine sedimentation virtually. This was developed by Zoetis. We all know Zoetis for the production of the vaccines we use in vaccinating our animals. But it's more than that. Now, recently I read about erythroma too. These are ultimate blood substitutes. Imagine having blood substitute. Red blood cells that are not antigenic and that they cannot cause. Hello, can you still hear me, Faith? Hello, Faith, are you with me? Anyway, so there are wearable collars that you can actually take of animals. This has been. Hello, Faith, are you with me?
Yes, yes, I'm with you.
All right. These are wearables that have been used to detect arthritis, allergies in animals. Even without the signs showing on the animal yet, you can detect allergies, and this has actually been used to treat atopic dermatitis in dogs. That's the Marvin Pet. Now, Signal Pet is like an AI radiology teleconsulting. What you have to do is just to bring your pets, and with your smartphone, you can perform radiology. Even with that smartphone, even if your pet is not there, you are home, you can scan the pet. These are beautiful technologies that we can actually also imbibe in the veterinary space. Moving forward, now we're going to be talking about the challenges in the Nigerian veterinary pharmaceutical industry. Currently, they have an issue with regulatory and enforcement, and there has been like a legal rift between pharmacists, the VCN, and the NAFDAC. And our dependence on imported products will actually cause high cost implications, because looking at the dollar rate, looking at the economy now, most people are running away from this because they don't have enough, and when they bring it in, they might have to sell it at an expensive price. I have seen a lot of products I have posted, and people will come to me and like, these products are they not going to be expensive? No, I can assure you that there are several pharmaceutical products that are not even expensive from manufacturer side. I've seen some recently that are just within the rate of $0.3, $0.5 per 100 vial. But those products, when they come here, will not sell at that, because by the time you remove all the charges, custom charge, this charge, that charge, it becomes high. And farmers, veterinarians, consumers will not be able to afford it. Now, talking about the educational gap, there has been specialization issue. I ventured into veterinary pharmaceutical, just like Faith, because I enjoy doing it. I knew about these issues right when I was in 500 level because we were in a discussion and somebody brought it up that why don't we have veterinary pharmacists? Why don't we have veterinary pharmacists that are actually situated in the veterinary teaching hospitals? Why are we not much? Why are people not specializing? Why are people not going to veterinary pharmacy? Why is that majority of the veterinarians now when they graduate, they want to practice? They want to practice. They want to do small animal practice, small large animal practice. So who's going to fill in the gap for pharmacy? Who's going to fill in the gap for diagnostics? Who's going to fill in the gap for dentistry? Then again, we have limited research and development in the aspect of veterinary pharmaceuticals. We have been more focused about productivity rather than research development of our own pharmaceuticals. We can do these things. We have a lot of resources to build. We can invite these foreign manufacturers to come and situate their plants here and produce here for us. These are the things we can do that will actually help us more, and this will actually enable like a centralized distribution of veterinary pharmaceuticals across the state. Now, one of the challenges again is this slow adaptation to technology and slow adoption to technology. Most people in the veterinary space are not really technologically inclined to me because they prefer to use the crude way to do things. When you tell certain people that oh AI can do this for you, oh there's a technology that does this, they are quick to talk about the negative effects rather than the positive side of it. Not all these equipments, not all these products have that negative side effect. Not all of them. So I talked about supply chain issues earlier, like the scarcity of pharmaceutical products. Many times I've been on groups and you get issues like where can we get this thing in Lagos? Oh, where can we get this so thing in Lagos? Oh, where can we get this thing in Abeokuta? Where can we get this so stuff in Abeokuta? No. If there was like a community pharmacy setting for veterinarians, we won't have issues asking where can we get this. You just walk in there. In Lagos here, I know about Agege. Apart from Agege, I don't know any other place in Lagos here where we have veterinary pharmacies situated, apart from Agege. In Ilorin, I know about 3 when I was in Ilorin. So these are the issues. We won't have products. They will be scarce. There will be supply chain issues. And this is one thing I actually commend Pharmalat for actually, creating mega centers everywhere whereby they can actually supply animal products, and ensure that there's a supply chain that can actually reach even the remote or rural areas in the country. So this can actually go for veterinary pharmaceuticals too. So, and one issue again is about the outdated and unavailable veterinary drug formulary for Nigeria. About this, I recently asked about the drug formulary from some senior colleagues, and all they could tell me was that it's not available. So, how do we now develop drugs? How do we know the drugs are supposed to bring in? How do we know the drugs are supposed to bring in? How do you know the drugs? How do you know about the last one I saw is outdated. So these are the things we can actually work. So I this news on pharmacists say no going back on veterinary, and they insist that they want to be relating the veterinary drugs. My question is, know about veterinary medicine? Have they studied animals? The answer is no. Although they know about the formulations are actually the same. But how about the usage in animals? If we are actually deep rooted in our profession, these are not issues that should be discussed or bargained over. They are not even supposed to come in to say they want to regulate our drugs. What do they know about the anatomy of animals? What do they know about the physiology of animals? What do they even know? What would they give in certain conditions? They can't answer this. They can't regulate our premises. But how are we going to fight this? It's not about the words that we're saying from our mouths. How about creating more pharmacies? How about empowering veterinarians to now become veterinary pharmacists? How about franchise? So there are a lot of things we can actually do to fight this. But for instance, let's assume a pharmacist that is actually rooted, visit all these outlets and see that, oh, these are substandard drugs. Oh, the person selling these drugs is not a veterinarian, or is just licensed. Is licensed by a paravet. This would bring issues of doubt in the veterinary space. And they feel like, oh, since we can't undo it, they should be able to undo it for us. It's wrong. The VCN should be able to undo regulation alongside NAFDAC. In the United States, the Center for Veterinary Medicine actually regulates veterinary drugs in the United States. In the UK, we have the Directorate of Veterinary Medicine in the UK that regulates drugs. And this body is not just owned by pharmacists. It's a group of veterinarians, pharmacists, medics, both the human medics and the veterinarians. They form this body to regulate this drug. So it's not a thing owned by the pharmacist, although it's in their acts. But things can actually still be done to make this right. And it can only be done by we veterinarians. And our collective efforts can actually make this possible. Now, talking about the opportunities for growth in veterinary pharmaceuticals. So now there is the Ministry of Livestock Development, headed by the permanent secretary, who is a veterinarian. So we know that veterinary pharmaceuticals are actually crucial in preventing disease and improving efficiency. You can't rule it out. You need drugs, you need vaccines, you need diagnostic tools to enable the livestock development, to produce. You need feed additives that are medicated. So you can't rule it out. We need veterinary pharmaceuticals. And these are opportunities for growth. You know, the federal government and the veterinary bodies need to look into it, creating a department that is focused on pharmaceuticals and research development. Now, the rate of animal welfare and pet ownership has increased thanks to social media. We have vibrant veterinarians that are actually preaching animal welfare currently. And about last 2 years, I know there's a spike in the ownership of pets everywhere, every nook and cranny. There's somebody owning a pet, whether a dog, whether a cat, whether rabbits. So, how will they take care of these pets? It drives the demand for veterinary pharmaceutical products. Then now we have animal health programs, partnership with global organizations. Everybody is talking about One Health now, One Health, One Health, One Health. The animal health aspect of it. How do we intend to take care of these animals? We need pharmaceuticals. We need tools. Now, there's advancement in diagnostics too. Now there are rapid test kits, there are AI-based tools, although I've not been seeing them in Nigeria, even in sub-Saharan Africa. So these are the things we can do to make ourselves distinct and to make them recognize us internationally. So I talked about digitalization, digital pharmacy. There's a digital prescription system in the countries we look up to, in US, in UK, China. There's digital prescription system. There is e-commerce now. The way we have all these e-commerce websites, we can now make an e-commerce site for veterinary pharmaceuticals mainly. This will actually even improve distribution of drugs, because I can sit where I am and order my drug. I can sit here and order my drug. I think Pharmalat has actually incorporated this, but I have not really been seeing it in use. But it's something that is very okay to use. We just need dispatch. Oh, I need Oxytet. Oh, I need enrofloxacin. Oh, you can collect this at so place. The dispatch rider will bring it. Imagine people having to import drugs. You just want to use drug for a little time. You have to import it. You need an urgent drug now. Maybe a drug that you need within 2 hours, and it's not available in your location. Maybe you have to send it from. You need a drug in Maiduguri in 2 hours time, and the product is actually available in Lagos. It's going to actually reduce veterinary medicine, in the sense that you'll not be able to cater for the need of the patient at that point. Now, people are now going into sustainable and organic animal farming. There are issues with using probiotics and prebiotics now to boost the immune system of the animal, like a prophylactic method rather than using drugs. You use probiotics and prebiotics to help them. This can actually help in areas of AMR, AHR, anti-coccidia resistance, and all sort of resistance. So now we also need pharmaceuticals in companion, exotic, and wildlife medicine. There are a lot of drugs. I assure you of that. There are a lot of veterinary drugs, a lot of them. But unfortunately, we only have few here. And the few you have, we still have substandard, we still have counterfeit drugs. So what is the way forward? Now, the role of research and development in veterinary pharmaceuticals. This can actually help us in development of new drugs and treatments, just like we have today. It can actually improve existing medications, like the ones we are using. How can we improve it? Are we supposed to increase the concentration? Are we supposed to add this in the aspect of AMR? Are we supposed to, reduce this, add, are we supposed to formulate it? This can actually help in the aspect of research and development. It can actually address drug resistance, like I said, too. It can actually cause advancement in diagnostic tools, because when research and development sets in, we would be forced to bring in all these novel diagnostic equipment and tools to actually boost production. Now, it can actually help in regulatory and quality assurance, because now there will be, apart from the job that NAFDAC does, within ourselves, there will be like a secondary testing, in the sense that we will actually know that, okay, these products are good, or have they truly been tested by NAFDAC? Because I can tell you so well that if you take some drugs now, if you buy a drug in a drug in a drug market, because I can't call it a pharmacy based on what I've been seeing, and you test those products, they will tell you, okay, it's 10% oxytocin. If you test those products, I can assure you that what you need is 0.1% oxytocin. Ivermectin as a product now, there are numerous forms of ivermectin now that it's not even that 1% that we used to know again. So how did this come in place? Have NAFDAC truly been working? What is happening? A lot of complaints have come to me regarding these products are not good. No, now when I try to practice and give administer drugs to animals, if a fellow veterinarian is there and I want to follow the normal dosage, they will tell me I increase it. This drug no dey work again. That's the normal slogan. They work very well like that. Sorry that I'm using pidgin, but that's the best way I can actually communicate this. That means this drug is not working so well again. So if we have potent drugs, we would have to follow the dosage and all stuff like that. But now we don't have. So now we overdose. And this will actually even cause the issue of the AMR we are trying to tackle. Because when you underdose drugs, or when you give a drug that is not in the right concentration, what do you expect the microorganisms to do? They will be resistant to it. They will build biofilms. They will increase their way of target modification, and also because what we are giving is actually substandard. If we are given the right concentration, nothing about drug resistance will happen, as long as we have given the right dosage based on production. But now, that's another issue we have to tackle again. And this is actually one of the roles of research and development in veterinary pharmaceuticals. So we need continuous collaborative efforts among us. We are a bit dispersed and individualistic, I would say. But collective efforts will actually make things actually be better. We'll be able to do more when we come together to achieve certain goals. So I want to ask the question: can we have the Department of Pharmaceutical Research and Development? That would make a lot of sense, because we focused on developing drugs vaccines, and it will even help other research institutes like NVRI. Moving to the next slide. So, how would this be sustainable? Now, in terms of environmental sustainable practices, we have sustainable drug formulations and manufacturing. Now, in terms of economical stability, we have affordable and accessible drugs up to rural remote areas. We have improved livestock and productivity and companion animal medicine. Medicine for companion animals alone, not just generalized medicine. Companion animal medicine. That's how it's supposed to be. Companion animal medicine, large animal medicine, exotic animal medicine, aquatic animal medicine. Not me using drugs that are meant for large animals for companion animals, or drugs that are meant for livestock to aquatic, for large animals to aquatic, or drugs that are meant for fish for animals, as long as it's the same ingredient, as long as it works. It's not supposed to be so. It has to be tailored according to different species. Now, there will be social sustainability. We'll have healthier animals, and we can actually promote one health, and then we can actually even foster food safety. Now, we can actually also manage drug resistance, and then we can venture into preventive medicine properly. That means prophylaxis. When we have ability of all these products, it's not only vaccines that actually enable prophylaxis in animals. There are other products that are non vaccine related that can actually help us in the aspect of preventive medicine. And then profit making, venturing into pharmaceutical, like pharmacy is the blood money, in quotes, the blood money. You can make a lot of profits from it. Now, recently, the global veterinary pharmaceutical market size is projected to reach 39 billion by 2027 from 27.5 billion in 2022. Look at the gap. So you should know that a lot of profit making is actually going on in the veterinary pharmaceutical market. But are we tapping into it properly? Or who are those tapping into it? Why can't we tap into it all together? Why can't we do it? Why can't we also venture into it? Why is it not dispersed? Now, another form of sustainability is that we can actually trend in technology. Now we go with the trend with what exactly what is going on, so that we would be commendable, and we would be recognized on a global standard. And then data-driven progress. We'll be able to get enough data. Currently, there is no database for anything regarding animals in Nigeria. Currently, I must say, we can't want to do a research now and say, okay, let's go to a data bank to get it. It's not available. We need all of these things to help us grow. And also, about the sustainable development goals, SDG 3, 12, and 13, there will be good health, good animal health, responsible consumption and production, and then action against global climate change. So, some of the strategies for overcoming these challenges include institutional modification, veterinary pharmacy being an accredited course on its own. According to the brief that I read, that Faith also read, it was talking about studying veterinary pharmacy and therapeutics at master's level. To me, it doesn't really certify you to practice veterinary pharmacy on a standard. Why don't we start from the grassroots? Why don't we enable people study veterinary pharmacy at undergraduate level? This balances the spike in affinity to clinical practice among veterinarians. When we have people that graduate as veterinary pharmacists, they will be saddled with responsibility to practice as veterinary pharmacists rather than going into clinical practice. Same thing with veterinary dentistry. Same thing with diagnostics. We can actually split this. Veterinary medicine is cumbersome. Even splitting this will actually, reduce the workload for some people. By the time you are specialized in a particular field in veterinary medicine, you won't have to, worry about what you want to do. Okay, when I graduate, I'm going into veterinary pharmacy. That way, we can even start producing drugs, formulating drugs, going into bodies, becoming relevant, fight for ourselves that way. That's just one of the strategies I feel we can use. Then we can actually start fostering local manufacturing process along with importation. It will ensure a centralized distribution, and then there'll be like an hybrid supply chain, both digital and physical. And We can do like a geopolitical zone-based target production, in the sense that in the northern aspect, we can, rationalize the kind of products that will be there. The northern part of Nigeria is majorly for large animals and livestock. We can now, like, make a target product modification in the sense that we will give more of large animal veterinary pharmaceutical products to the northern area of the country. But looking at the southwest, Lagos, for example, there are a lot of pet owners. We can now, give more of pet-related products and pharmaceuticals here than large animal products. Places like Ogun State, Delta, we can make it equal because they practice both livestock farming, and some of them own companion animals. So that way, we can balance it, and this will actually ensure like availability of products across the states in Nigeria. So we can also modify regulatory products. The VCN can actually set up a body that aids the job of NAFDAC in terms of premises and products. We can set up task force that can be appointed in all local governments in Nigeria to report and curb counterfeit and unregistered products. I doubt if we are doing this already, because a lot of people are basking in the glow of selling pharmaceutical products, being unregistered. I've seen a lot. I have seen a lot currently, because you see some people who just open a shop and is licensed by a paravet. Some not licensed at all. Some will tell you, we know so and so person. Oh, some we know this doctor. You know this doctor, but are you registered to sell these products? No. If the sister council see all of these things, they can actually use it against us and like, okay, you don't even regulate your own premises, so let's do it on your behalf. Now, we can now even go into technology and digital integration with training for veterinarians. Most veterinarians are not exposed, I would say. Now, with training on all these tools, even before before going into AI, even the ones we have that are not AI related, how many of us know how to use those tools? So we need proper training for veterinarians in these aspects too. And then there should be provision of a standard and updated veterinary formulary that matches global standard. That way we can know what we are doing. We don't have a formulary, we don't even have the basic things. So how do you expect us to start? Now, continuous education and awareness should be tailored towards relevance to veterinary pharmacy too. As we are actually focusing on other aspects of veterinary medicine, let us focus on veterinary pharmacy too. Then we need political presence and intervention. We need people in the Senate. We need people in government agencies. We need people to campaign, to be able to pass bills, to amend laws that will favor veterinarians as well. So this way, with these strategies, I know if we can actually put it in place, there will be a chance for growth in the veterinary space. Moving forward, I came up with a quote that the future, do we choose to stand or stay guard? Perhaps if we stand, would we ever consider moving? And if we move, is it towards the right direction? Now, there are some points I also want to let us understand, apart from the formal aspect of it. As veterinarians, we should not be the weapon fashioned against one another. We should not be the one actually enabling non-vets to do our job on our behalf. Some months back, I happened to be in a farm. I wanted to market a product, and this man just came up. A non-vet. I know everybody. I know vets. I know this. We bring in products. We do this. We sell the products. We are the one who distribute these products. So I wonder, like, if this man does not have somebody backing him up, he won't be able to talk like this. He won't talk this way. And these are the issues. We are unable to solve some of our problems because we are the one actually fostering those problems. We are the one building those problems for ourselves. And do we continue to break our own shield? No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't continue to break our own shield. And I would say there is no country without problems. Unity have solved most of their problems. With Unity, I know we can actually do a lot in the veterinary space because there is nobody without their own problem. But having to shield our own will enable them manage theirs without having to look into what we are doing. And I would say the challenges with veterinary hospitals span through sub-Saharan Africa, and Nigeria is one. And one thing again, is that old method still working? Having an open mind to learn something new creates opportunity for growth. Think technology. Technology has made life easy. Some people say, oh, technology is going to make us lazy. Do you want to work all through your life? Technology has made life easy for us. And that's why those people we are looking up to, the research, the foreigners, they are doing a lot of things. They are able to do more because they have things that make their work easy for them. Why don't we imbibe this? And lastly, let the young ones help. Treat them well too. It's high time to start including young veterinarians into the veterinary space. Make it open for us to understand exactly what is going on in the veterinary space. Treat us well too. Because if we start talking about issues about senior vets treating young vets abruptly, it's a big discussion, but it's outside the scope of what I am here to discuss today. Now, some key insights. We have technological advancement and digital transformation, public-private partnership. We can foster that too. That's between public and private entities and the government. Now, we can actually enable centralization and extensive supply chain. We can get elevated local manufacturing strength with assured quality. When we imbibe some of these strategies, we can achieve it. The livestock transformation and sustainability we are trying to achieve, we'll be able to get this too. Then there is opportunity for market growth and possibility of foreign investments. And this way, with even research and development, we can actually create opportunity for funding to veterinary bodies, pharmaceutical manufacturers, and pharmaceutical outlets. So, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Agumbi Adeola Tumbosun. Thank you so much. It's an honor to actually listen to you. I mean, I thought I really knew things about the veterinary pharmaceutical space until I heard you talk, and it was an insightful moment. Yeah, I hope you can hear me, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you so much. So before we move on, I have some questions that I would love to ask you actually, and I think there are some people that ask questions already, but I think I should just ask my questions before I move on to ask what's it called, to ask the audience about their own questions. Now
All right.
we already know this. We have these challenges, the innovations, the global trends, and we already have the way out. How soon can we start working on getting these things into action to start making sure that people are actually doing what they need to do, the veterinarians are doing what they need to do? That's my first question. And then how long is it going to take for us to get to that level? Then my last question is, we know already that pharmacists are not supposed to be allowed to do this, but what can we do to help? I mean, as a young vet that I am, I'm just finishing from the vet school, and I think I'm still just fresh out in the field. What can I as a young vet do? What can people in the other, what other young vets, what can we do to help? So those are my three questions.
All right. The first question regarding how we can uh, what is
How,
good for how soon can we achieve this or when can we start? Yeah. Um, it comes with first of all, it comes with the people in the professional body listening to veterinarians. You see, I would say something. You know, the status of veterinary of this our senior vets in the bodies will not make them come into the crevices where all these things are happening. You understand? They can, empower veterinarians. Young vets are ready to work. Empower them. Let them work as your task force. Let them be your data collector. Let them report to you. That way, you can listen to them. They'll give you. I can tell you that there are a lot of veterinarians that are innovative in respect to this pharmaceutical field, but they are not happy. They know that when they table all these things, they rather not be listening to. They would rather not be listening to. Look at the issue going on currently. There's all talks about livestock development surveillance, but nobody's even talking about how we want to even, attain animal health. The moment you talk about it, nobody listens to you. And these are the issues we are currently facing. Nobody listens to you. I can count the number of times I've reached out to some senior vets regarding what we can do or how we can do it. The only person that gave me a voice was the man who posted about the court order. It was the one who gave me a voice that listened to me and appreciated what I talked about. That way, you know, some people are actually reluctant because they know they will never be heard. This way, if you start calling veterinarians, you know, make it an open-minded discussion. Let them know what you are doing. Make it open. You understand? By the time you let people know what you are doing and you're also listening to them or know what they feel about what you're doing, you will get to know a lot. Till now, nobody has heard about what is still going on in the pharmaceutical between the pharmacists and the veterinarians. Until I read that news, those things are not open. We are so centric. We are focusing on just one thing. Even the main things we are supposed to battle, we are not battling it. So that way, I know if they listen and then they make whatever thing they are doing open, things will get better. I can tell you now that the reason why some foreign investors, such as DECRA, Advocate, and the likes, the reason why they are not even bringing their employees is because they know us. They know how much of issues we have within the veterinary space, and they don't want to run at loss. So that way, I know things can actually, and how soon? Well, if we start now, it might take us years actually. In terms of the technological advancement, that might actually take us a long period of time. But even the basic ones can be achieved as soon as possible when we start implementing on them from now on. Then the third question. Can I get the third question, please?
The third question is, what can I, as a young vet, do to help fight this problem?
What you can do as a young vet, or what I am doing as a young vet now, is to become a pharmacist. Is to become a veterinary pharmacist. If we have proper orientation in veterinary schools, we know we do orientation in veterinary. Nobody tells us all these things. If you start imbibing that, okay, as a vet, you can become a veterinary pharmacist. There are prospects in veterinary business rather than clinical practice. Give them the advantage, give them the tell them a lot of things that they can achieve or things that they get to benefit. They get to benefit from it. They will join. And this I want even vets that are actually going to graduate now to do. Because if you don't start telling them from now, if you keep telling them about the prospects, some people are so sad and they're so buried in the prospects that I must practice, I must this, I must do that. Most people are so confused. I can assure you that majority of the veterinary students in the veterinary schools now are so confused. They only see the good side of it. They don't even know the problems. If you start telling them about the problems now, it creates like a solution mentality right from school. But if you don't tell them they graduate, they become confused. Do you get? For me, I got to know about these things since primary level. And I think I was reading through something or getting to know about something. That's when I got to know that, oh, there's a problem. And there's money in it. Apart from you helping apart from you catering for the needs, there's a lot of profits in veterinary pharmacy. So why are they not doing it? In Lagos currently, apart from pet care, I don't know any other diagnostic I don't know any other diagnostic laboratory apart from pet care. So what happens to building central laboratories? Why can't the VCM build central laboratories across each state to foster laboratory diagnosis? No, those ones are not done. This livestock issue we are actually clamoring on is majorly for the agricultural scientists, the livestock farmers. Our own aspect of it is to enable the treatment, the welfare of this livestock, of these animals. So are we doing that enough? So I guess I've answered the question.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I'm really grateful for that. I think before we move on, I would also like to say, you mentioned something earlier that you don't know if Farmalat is already doing that. I think Farmalat has started doing that. Yesterday, I was opportune to be at the warehouse, one of the mega centers in Abuja, and I noticed that there was a client that needed a product to be delivered to Gwagwalada, and it was sent out almost immediately as soon as the payment was received. So I can say, like proudly, Farmalat is already doing that, trying to make sure that the needs of the farmers, the needs of veterinarians and pet owners is met as soon as possible. So thank you so much. Then we'll move on to the questions asked by other people. I think one of the questions here that I saw in the comment box, if you have questions, please, you can always ask your questions. Just drop your question in the comment box and the doctor will be listening to it. I think Dr. Abdul Fattah Bashir said, "Hello, doctor. Thank you for your presentation. Like you said, we have a long way to go, but I share the same optimism with you that we will get there. It is up to us to determine how soon." Thank you so much, Dr. Abdul Fattah Bashir. Thank you for that point. And then another person asked that, can we have information on steps to take for comprehensive investment in veterinary pharmaceutical? So that's another question.
All right. The step to take actually, you see, venturing into veterinary pharmaceuticals, it is capital intensive. I won't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you. Currently, we are in our pharmacy. We are trying to get in some drugs, import some drugs, and do some processes. And I can tell you that it costs a lot of money. But there's another way to do it, to go about it. Let's look at it this way. If we have a lot of people that want to invest into veterinary pharmacy, why don't I, starting from here, if there was a standard formula, you know, I can pick one drug, you can pick one drug, I can pick two drugs, it will be less of course and we will bring a lot of products. See, over time, if we do it that way, you will be surprised that we have a lot of drugs. We will have a lot of formulations because investing into veterinary pharmacy is a lot, and I think it requires collaboration. You need a lot of people. You need a lot of people to come together to drop their capital to help you do that. You understand? But looking at it too, these are things we can actually do for ourselves too. That's if we start local manufacturing. There are things we can actually do for ourselves too. But I would say it inquires a lot. But is there anything that is impossible to achieve? No. I don't believe there is anything that is impossible to achieve. I hope I've answered that. Hello?
Thank you so much, Doctor, for that. Another question is, great presentation, Dr. Agumbiade. Please shed more light on online prescription. Given all its risks, do you think Nigeria is ready for it? If not, what can we do to get us ready for it?
Yeah, online prescription is, would I say it's easy per se. Now that we have even vets that are actually going into building apps, you understand? Online prescription is in two ways. There's the telemedicine aspect of it. That means you can reach out to your veterinarian online. You understand? There was something we were hoping to develop sometimes that we are going to use like an AI-driven mechanism in the sense that we'll have loaded a lot of diagnostic information to the AI. So you as a client, before you meet me as a veterinarian, you understand? You just have to type, oh, my dog is lethargic, my dog is this, my dog is that. And from there, it will bring solutions to you. Oh, this is what might be going on. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Will you try this? So that way, you don't even need, to reach out to a vet yet before you can do a lot of things for yourself. And definitely, it is going to be regularized. There are some certain things that will require you to come to the vet. There are some information that will not be sent out to you. It will actually inform you that, okay, reach out to your vet. And that way, from that app, you can reach out to a vet. And then you can give the same complaints. And if it's something that can be diagnosed online, it will be done. If it's not, you'll be required to come to the clinic. The second aspect of it is there's this online prescription that is done in veterinary pharmacies abroad currently, in sense that you just have to go online too. Everything is online now. Sure, you understand? You go online, you chat with a pharmacist. You chat with a pharmacist. There's two aspects of it. There's the AI chat. There's you chatting with a real pharmacist. So over-the-counter drugs, some prescriptions can be given to you, that you can use for yourself, rather than you having to drive down. Let's imagine you are in a long distance. Oh, you are in Sokoto, and maybe you can't access a vet on time. I think this was something Vet Connect was trying to build, but I don't know how much or how far they are trying to do this. You can be in Sokoto, and if you can't locate the vet, you go online. You can locate a pharmacist online. Oh, my dog is showing this, showing this, showing that. You understand? They will prescribe drugs for you online. It could be through chats. They will even give you links on where to go in that Sokoto, because it's going to be geographically oriented. You can locate. They will help you locate. They will prescribe to you, help you locate, and give you alternative remedies if those ones they're giving to you cannot be achieved. We can achieve this too. It just requires us going into technology more. Putting technology into veterinary medicine. It's going to work.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We are really grateful for this insightful webinar. Thank you for your time. It's an honor to have you here. And I don't think we have any other questions. Those are the questions we have. And we hope to hear more from you and see what you've achieved in the next few years. And to every young veterinarian out there, just know that there is an opportunity out there for you in the veterinary pharmaceutical space. There's something for you to do. Don't just think that veterinary medicine is all about clinical practice. It's all about having a pet store or having your own clinic. There is more. You can do more. So please learn more about veterinary pharmaceuticals, and I'm sure there are a lot of opportunities for you to tap into. Thank you so much for joining this session of Aspire that is brought to you by Pharmalat. Have a good day. Bye.